Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of December 15, 2024. I'm your host, Sharifa Mohammed MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. Destruction of key assets. The Russian military targeted and destroyed critical Ukrainian military infrastructure, including control vehicles, radar stations, and anti-aircraft systems. This includes striking a combat control vehicle, an AN/MPQ-65 radar, and 4 Patriot missile system launchers.
Welcome back to Frontline Updates, where we bring you the latest insights from the battlefield. Today, we are joined once again by Colonel A.C. Oguntoye for an in-depth briefing on the progress of the special military operation as of December 15, 2024. Welcome back, Colonel.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Colonel, let's start with the Kharkiv direction. What's the latest from this front?
In the Kharkiv region, the North Group of Forces achieved a series of significant victories. We successfully defeated formations of the Ukrainian Armed Forces Motorized Infantry Brigade, a Territorial Defense Brigade, and a border detachment in the settlements of Lipsy, Volchansk, Prilipka, and Zalakiv. A counterattack by an enemy assault group was repelled, resulting in over 70 Ukrainian servicemen killed. We also neutralized 2 vehicles, a 122mm D-30 howitzer, and destroyed an ammunition depot.
The West Group of Forces has also been active. Can you detail their progress?
The West Group of Forces made significant tactical advancements, defeating 2 mechanized brigades, an assault brigade, 2 territorial defense brigades, and a National Guard brigade. These operations were concentrated in key areas like Katkavka, Dviregnia, Lozovaya, and Kupiansk in the Kharkiv region, and Serebryansky Forestry. Despite facing counterattacks from Ukrainian forces, we repelled them effectively, eliminating over 550 enemy personnel, destroying a range of armored vehicles, artillery systems, including NATO-supplied equipment, and neutralizing an Enclave electronic warfare station and an ammunition depot.
What can you tell us about developments in the Donetsk People's Republic?
Significant progress was achieved by the Southern Group of Troops. We liberated the settlement of Vesely and defeated Ukrainian formations, including 2 mechanized and 2 airmobile brigades, along with a territorial defense brigade, in areas like Seversk, Zvanavka, and Kurakovo. The Ukrainian armed forces suffered over 400 casualties, along with losses of tanks, armored vehicles, and artillery, including NATO-supplied howitzers.
What about the Center Group of Forces? Any strategic updates there?
The Center Group continued advancing deep into enemy defenses, liberating the settlement of Pushkino. We inflicted heavy losses on 2 mechanized brigades, a motorized infantry brigade, a marine brigade, and an assault brigade of the Ukrainian National Police. We also repelled 10 counterattacks, resulting in the destruction of tanks, infantry fighting vehicles, including U.S.-made Bradley units, and various artillery systems.
How about the Zaporizhia region and other southern fronts?
Our East Group of Forces achieved significant progress, defeating Ukrainian mechanized brigades in Timirovka and Vermivka. We neutralized enemy assault groups attempting counterattacks and inflicted losses of over 155 servicemen, combat vehicles, and advanced artillery systems, including the French-made Caesar unit. Meanwhile, the Dnipro Group engaged Ukrainian forces in Novoandrivka and Malaya Takhmachka, eliminating over 70 personnel, vehicles, and advanced artillery pieces, including the U.S.-made M777 howitzer.
Moving south to the Dnepr region, what's the latest there?
In the Dnipro region, our forces have been actively targeting Ukrainian formations with substantial success. Units of the Dnipro Group inflicted significant losses on the manpower and equipment of the Ukrainian armed forces, including mountain assault and heavy mechanized brigades, as well as a National Guard brigade. These operations were concentrated around the settlements of Novoandrivka, Malaya Takhmachka, and Novopavlovka in the Zaporizhia region. The Ukrainian forces suffered over 70 casualties, and we destroyed 4 vehicles, a US-made 155mm M777 howitzer, and a 152mm D-20 gun. Furthermore, we eliminated an ammunition depot and an electronic warfare station, which were critical to their operational support. These actions have severely disrupted their ability to coordinate and resupply in this sector.
You mentioned targeting critical infrastructure. Can you elaborate on those operations?
Our operational tactical aviation, strike UAVs, missile forces, and artillery conducted precision strikes on military airfields, enemy manpower concentrations, and equipment. Notably, we destroyed a US-made Patriot air defense radar station for Patriot missile launchers and other critical Ukrainian assets. These strikes disrupt the enemy's operational capabilities significantly.
It sounds like significant progress is being made. How do these developments impact the broader strategy in this region?
The Dnipro Group's operations are pivotal in maintaining pressure on Ukrainian forces in the south. By degrading their operational capabilities and neutralizing key assets like artillery and electronic warfare systems, we are not only reducing their offensive potential but also securing strategic positions that allow us to maintain control over key logistical routes. This reinforces our broader strategic objectives of stabilizing the southern front and preparing for further advances into contested territories.
How has air defense contributed to your efforts?
Our air defense systems were highly effective. We intercepted a Ukrainian MiG-29 aircraft, neutralized 8 HIMARS rockets, and shot down 116 unmanned aerial vehicles attempting reconnaissance and strikes.
Finally, let's turn to the Kursk region. What's the latest update?
The Kursk region remains a key operational theater for our forces. During offensive operations, units of the North Group have successfully defeated Ukrainian formations, including 5 mechanized brigades, a tank brigade, 2 airborne assault brigades, a marine brigade, and 2 territorial defense brigades. This took place in critical areas such as Gavo, Krebelkoy, Lebedevka, Leonidov, Malaya Lokhnya, Martinovka, Nikolaevo-Derino, Pavlovka, Pogrebki, Ruskoy Portnoy, Sverdlikovo, and Cherkaskoy Portnoy. 2 counterattacks by Ukrainian assault groups were repelled, ensuring our continued advancement and consolidation of control in the region.
What kind of losses have the Ukrainian forces incurred in this region over the last 24 hours?
Over the past 24 hours alone, Ukrainian forces have lost more than 400 servicemen. Additionally, we have destroyed 1 tank, 2 infantry fighting vehicles, 3 armored combat vehicles, 7 cars, 3 artillery pieces, and 10 mortars. Notably, 5 Ukrainian servicemen have also surrendered, further depleting their combat readiness. In total, since the beginning of operations in the Kursk direction, Ukrainian losses have exceeded 40,860 personnel, along with 241 tanks, 180 infantry fighting vehicles, 125 armored personnel carriers, and a host of other equipment, including 1,256 armored combat vehicles, 1,138 vehicles, and 314 artillery pieces.
These numbers are staggering. How do these developments affect the broader strategic picture in the Kursk region?
The consistent success in the Kursk region significantly weakens the Ukrainian military's ability to regroup and launch offensives. By eliminating their armored capabilities and artillery support, we are diminishing their operational flexibility and morale. Furthermore, the liberation of key settlements and repelling counterattacks enable us to secure critical logistics and supply lines, ensuring sustained progress in this sector. This momentum reinforces our overarching goal of stabilizing the northern front while exerting strategic pressure on neighboring operational zones.
Colonel, could you provide insight into the overall impact of these operations on Ukrainian defenses across all regions? And perhaps touch on whether this progress has wider implications for the broader conflict?
The series of successful operations across regions, Kursk, Kharkiv, Donetsk, and Zaporizhia, demonstrate a systematic degradation of Ukrainian defensive capabilities. Here's how. 1. Material losses. The scale of destruction inflicted on Ukrainian military assets is significant. In just one day, hundreds of personnel, dozens of armored vehicles, artillery systems, and other critical equipment have been neutralized. These cumulative losses are severely impacting Ukraine's ability to sustain effective combat operations. 2. Strategic positions. The liberation of key settlements like Veseligai, Pushkino, and others across multiple regions not only disrupts Ukrainian supply chains but also secures critical routes for Russian forces to maintain momentum. Securing these positions forces Ukraine to divert resources to defensive efforts, weakening their capability to stage counterattacks elsewhere.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for having me. One last thing, regarding the broader conflict, let's add morale and manpower. Beyond material losses, Ukrainian forces face declining morale due to repeated operational failures and significant casualties. The surrender of personnel and the destruction of high-value assets, such as advanced Western-supplied systems, erodes both their will and capacity to fight. In Gaza, Israeli military strikes have resulted in civilian casualties. A reported 12 casualties occurred in strikes targeting aid convoys.